Hey, Officer Joseph here. I want to talk to you about a tale of two sides of the city. I'm doing this after a rough 2 weeks I had, which has been really disheartening for me, but I want to show you something. Over here is a picture of America's economic might and power, the LA skyline. Business is the sign of our success. Over here, you have Skid Row, a symbol of America's failure to help the most marginalized in our society. Now, when I say marginalized, I'm talking about people struggling with mental illness, severe mental illness, dual diagnosis. I'm talking about families who lose their housing, or women who lose housing through domestic violence or no fault of their own. For the last 2 weeks, I had to house 5 families. We're talking about whole families with small infant children who were forced into Skid Row and sought me to get them shelter and put them up in a hotel. And I'm gonna tell you, it's getting really hard to do that now. It's really difficult, and it's heartbreaking, you know. As for the mentally ill, it's getting more dangerous out there for them because they make the perfect victims, and sometimes, unfortunately, through no fault of their own, suspects. Why can't we build shelter or emergency shelters away from Skid Row? Because Skid Row is no place for children at all. But to build emergency shelters away from Skid Row to house families who come down on hard times and need a place to stay other than the street. Why can't we revisit mental health laws and just look at the 72-hour hold and find a better way to help these people? Because now, with many people struggling with dual diagnosis, we're you're not only dealing with their mental illness, you got to get through their addiction first to even be able to truly help them. And I'm sorry, a 72-hour hold is not going to help them. You know, you got to stabilize them first. You can't just kick them right back out in the street and expect them to be fine, because they're going to walk right down to Skid Row. The drug dealers are going to give them crack cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines, and now spice, which is really off the hook, and put them in danger. So, as a law enforcement officer, I'm just asking for our government, our philanthropists to come together and figure out a more humane way to deal with homelessness, especially in a tough time when we have, on average, 13,000 people losing their homes every month. And I just met 5 of them over the last 2 weeks. We've got to do better. I'm a law enforcement officer. I'm supposed to fight crime. But unfortunately, I've had to be a social worker, which I don't mind. We want to be a part of the solution. But law enforcement can't fix mental health. We can't fix that. Unfortunately, we deal with the fallout of the failure to fix that. Because we know darn well that being mentally ill is not a crime. It's not a crime to be mentally ill or homeless. But when society fails to take care of these individuals, we have what we have now. Skid Row is no place for the mentally ill to get better, and it's no place for families to be. So hopefully someone will hear this and come up with some real solutions on how to handle this. Take care.